guys, good evening. How y'all doing tonight? This is the Club with the Man 1993, and I am here live for hopefully 3 reviews tonight, one within each hour, as I am hoping to wrap up catching up on my pay-per-view streams within the next couple of hours, and then I will um, and I will hopefully be caught up and basically caught up with what I wanted to get done. But anyway, so we are here live for my live review of NXT TakeOver Portland that took place back on February 16th, just about a little over a month ago, at the Moda Center. It was called again, yeah, the Moda Center. I'm sorry, in Portland, Oregon. This was the first NXT TakeOver of 2020. We did have NXT UK TakeOver. This is the first NXT TakeOver, and don't know when the next one's going to be because we're not going to be having. Well, we're having the NXT TakeOver Tampa matches take place the next couple of weeks on live NXT TV. So, of course, we will see how those go for sure. But of course, next weekend we have WrestleMania. Once again, don't forget, guys, it's too big to be one night. Whatever the heck the slogan is. I don't care at this point. But anyways, let's talk about a really fun show. This show, NXT TakeOver Portland, to me, was definitely one of my favorite takeovers of all time. This was a really, really good show. We had only one title change, but we had a lot of good storytelling moments. We had a Match of the Year candidate with that opening match. And we had quite a shocking ending as well, I will say too. It's something that I kind of thought of may happen, but I didn't really believe it to happen the way they did it. Because it did set up for a match I knew we had to get at some point after this takeover that we are going to be getting in about, well, now it's about more so a week and a half than 2 weeks. But to me, it was quite the shocker. But other than that, I still gotta say this was one of my favorite takeovers for sure. To watch. We got Tyler in a live chat saying he thought that the main event went on too long. Kind of true, I do agree, but I still thought it was an excellent match. He's going to do WrestleMania 33 tomorrow, and he still hates Mania 33. That's fine, man. That's your opinion. So yeah, I first gotta say before we get to the actual show, I still remember the small portion of the pre-show that I saw. The crowd was, on commentary besides Charlie Caruso on the pre-show. We also had Sam Roberts and Mansoor. Mansoor would get cheered like crazy the moment he started talking. But in the minute Sam Roberts started talking, he just got booed. And I don't blame him because Sam Roberts and then there was some other commentator, I think it was on the pre-show for War Games. They both sound like Mansoor, awesome. Awesome guy. I mean, the only time he only gets showcased is whenever they go over to the Saudi Arabia, just to, have someone go there and just, basically represent the WWE who's from over there. There was this other guy, I can't remember what his name was, Pat or P. Hayes, or I don't know, but not Peter Rosenberg, Sam Roberts and this other guy, I remember, they sound like guys who think they know wrestling, but they don't know wrestling, but then they think they can, call themselves commentators, when they're really kind of, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of them for sure. Mansoor, though, I definitely think is pretty darn awesome. I just gotta make note of that back and forth real quick before we actually get started into the match. So then we actually open up the show with, my opinion, the match of the night and one of my match of the year candidates. I've been waiting so long to see this match on a pay-per-view, and we finally got it. For the NXT North American Championship, we've got Keith Lee taking on Mr. Dominik Dijakovic for the NXT North American Championship. Again, I have been even bigger fans of these two ever since they started doing their series of matches about a year ago. Their first match, I remember, was on February 27th, 2019. I still remember that because it was my last night in Texas before I came back from my trip. I went to that NXT live event on that Friday where I saw a match with Dijakovic and Punishment Martinez before he became Damian Priest. Also put on an excellent match there as well. Which, of course, now those two are going to be involved with Keith Lee in a triple threat this coming Wednesday on NXT for a North American title. We'll see how that goes. This match, though, dang, again, by far, match of the night. An early match of the year candidate for sure. This was awesome. I was a little concerned because these two have already had several matches on live TV. Until this match, I thought their second match they ever had, which was the first match since Dijakovic returned from a knee injury shortly after SummerSlam, I think it was. I thought that was their best match. This match, though, was awesome. Again, two guys like Keith Lee, 6'2", 340 or something like that. Dijakovic, 6'7", 270 pounds, doing things that guys should not be doing. But it's still freaking amazing to see these guys move like they're like 100 pounds lighter or like 100 or like a whole foot shorter. These guys are literally 5-tool players. Tyler Bate is literally these guys. Because Tyler Bate is strong, but he can wrestle any type of match. These guys basically can wrestle any style as well, from what it looks like for sure. We had moonsaults, we had some aerial movements, we had, high-flying maneuvers and whatnot. A couple of my favorite spots in the match, I remember one of them, it looked like Dijakovic was jumping over the top rope to do like a senton or something like that to take out Lee, but instead Lee caught him. Like Dijakovic landed right on top of Lee's shoulders, like facing in towards him, caught him, and Dijakovic came this close to smacking his head off the apron. I'm just like, how? Like, how did he not, do that? But it was just a sick-looking spot. And the other one was, Dijakovic and Lee were brawling outside the ring. And then Dijakovic sets Lee up in a chair, just like a regular, announce table's chair, and sits him down there. He's already worn out. Well, then he goes for another freaking, senton off of the top rope, or swanton off of the top rope, and takes out Lee in between the announce tables. I don't know how either of them smacked each other on those announce tables, but I think they had other just freaking spots as well. Again, this match was awesome. This was probably, before this, probably the best big man match I had seen. Was any of the matches involving Big Show and Braun Strowman back in 2017. Again, those were three great series of matches between those three. But this was on a whole nother level. This literally brought the best out of both of these two. This was a pure classic. These two just make each other look just like superstars, for sure, or mega stars as well. I mean, I know Dijakovic still probably has a little bit more work to do on the microphone. Keith Lee at least is interesting on the microphone, but both these guys are over. Both these guys are loved by the fans for sure. And it was bound to happen for these two to have a North American Championship match. Definitely. Keith Lee would win. He eventually did win with the can't think it was a jackhammer or whatnot. So it's just afterwards, after the match, Key helped Dijakovic up. They hugged it out, and then Lee helped Dijakovic up onto the middle rope to pose as well. But of course, still Dijakovic is still going after that North American Championship. They have the fight forever vibe to them, but I still feel at some point, especially after they do this triple threat, these two need to take a break from each other. I mean, yes, their matches are awesome, but they've already faced each other 5-6 times now over the past year. Give yourselves a little bit of a breather, but hopefully with Damian Priest facing both of these guys, hopefully it'll kind of give him a little bit more of a rub against two guys that could definitely bring the best out of each other. So why not do the same to Priest? Because they did have that one triple threat last October, I think it was, when these two, when Lee Dijakovic faced Roderick Strong for a North American title before Lee beat him one-on-one back in sometime in January, I think it was. But yeah, still a freaking awesome match. Again, probably the best big man match I have seen for sure so far. My time as a wrestling fan, I gotta say. The next match was also a really good match. It was Tegan Nox taking on Dakota Kai in a street fight. So this feud obviously had been brewing ever since Dakota Kai turned heel and attacked Tegan Nox during the Women's War Games match back at NXT TakeOver War Games 3. These two have been just after each other ever since, trying to literally tear each other apart, and obviously Tegan wants to get revenge. What I thought was a little bit odd, though, going into this match, was the fact that these two did have a one-on-one match, and Candice LeRae, for some reason, came out. I mean, I get it, she was trying, because Dakota Kai was about to take it a little too far and use a steel chair and cause like a DQ or something like that. I don't know why they had Candice LeRae come down and help Tegan Nox to fend off of Dakota Kai from hurting her, and then it led to the Tegan hitting the shiniest wizard on Dakota to get the victory. But then there was no story after that leading to the street fight. So I'm like, that was a little bit odd, but I felt the storytelling in this match was still pretty good. I mean, these women had a lot of great spots with the weapons and whatnot, but also obviously showing a little more of the emotional side in this match. With Tegan obviously like angry at Dakota, but still has that emotional attachment for her because she's her best friend. These two fought back from knee injuries that could have been career ending for both of them, and they got back together. But so obviously you have that close bond, even in real life too. Outside of this storyline, these two are really good friends. But so obviously she was showing that emotional side of her. It's like oh gosh, why am I doing this? But oh gosh, I hate you so much. I want to get you. Oh goodness. But the storytelling was great. Again, these two really know how to sell really well, and it's definitely building these two's momentum for sure. The finish was a tad bit off though. They had Raquel, who used to be Rena Gonzalez, come out, and she pretty much helped Dakota Kai win the match. I don't know. I kind of am a little not too big of a fan of them giving Dakota Kai a muscle, because I still think she's lost a lot of matches still ever since she's turned heel. I feel like she would benefit a little bit more because she did win the steel cage match thanks to help from Raquel Gonzalez, but I think I feel like Dakota Kai should have been something they could have they should have made as a heel without having a muscle. Like, why does every heel character seem to need to have a muscle anymore, especially in the women's division? I kind of would have liked to have seen that, but Dakota won as I expected her to do so to get over. Again, Tegan won the first match, so Dakota wins this one. She won the steel cage match. Obviously, Tegan can take the loss, and she'll be okay. Dakota, I felt needed a little bit more to kind of build up her reputation a little bit more as a heel. But still an excellent match. Again, the storytelling was awesome. Again, I just wasn't really a big fan of having like a muscle added for Dakota Kai. Like why couldn't they just make her just a natural heel basically without having to have a muscle? So I don't know, but Dakota wins. Still a great match. I thought these two again really knew how to. The finish was definitely botched a little bit with the table spot, but these two, again, really knew how to tell the story very well and sell the crap out of everything. Again, these two definitely work very well together, both as tag team partners and as opponents. So at some point, I'm sure we're going to have another match between these two at some point down the line, because I think with Dakota Kai, with there being like that second chance six-pack challenge for the final spot in the ladder match, I still think it's going to either be Dakota Kai or Io Shirai winning that match. And we'll see if maybe one of them dethrone Rhea Ripley. I don't know. I don't see anybody dethroning Rhea Ripley right away, because again, how's she gonna go from beating Charlotte Flair to then losing to like Dakota Kai or Io Shirai? Like, I feel like she should be treated on like another level. Build these women up a little more on to get to her level, because again, the bar's gonna be set super high for her if they're gonna have her go over and beat Charlotte at WrestleMania. But we'll have to wait and see. But again, still an excellent match, and definitely great. Well, actually, again, I think the botch was, if I remember, I think that Dakota actually, I think they actually tossed Tegan through the table, and she didn't really go through the table in the end. But table spots in women's matches never seem to work out, anyways. But so we got that. Then we had kind of like a pretty good old school style technical match with Johnny Gargano and Finn Balor. The story of this obviously being, Finn Balor returned to NXT. He said that his past will become his future. obviously, he storyline-wise, he can't be pleasing people anymore. He's got to do what's best for him, and obviously, get that fire back in him and be, the success and take his spot back at the top of NXT, where he obviously he had to go after like the heart and soul of NXT, Johnny Gargano, also known as Johnny Wrestling, and he attacked Johnny Gargano when he turned heel and spiked him with a 1916 DDT that put him out of action and caused him to miss his first takeover in a couple of years. So Johnny came back, obviously seeking revenge on Finn Balor, and he basically wanted to show the point that he's more dedicated to NXT than Balor claims he is. But the match happens, and again, it started off a little bit slow, but it was just that slow, paced, technical wrestling match. I thought these two did pick up the pace eventually, and I thought it was good. It was a really good match. Eventually, though, Balor would get the win, which of course was suspicious to me because my early prediction was I thought maybe they would give this match to Johnny and have Johnny go on and then had Tommaso Ciampa win the main event and go on to face each other for the NXT Championship to take over Tampa Bay and kind of blow off the feud they're supposed to get last year. Well, we're getting it, but it happened a little bit different. So I'll leave my more thoughts about it so I get to the end, to that main event. That really good again, yes, the main event was a long match. Should not have been as long as it was, but I still thought it was a pretty good long match, I gotta say. But this match as well was pretty good as well. Finn winning though was the right idea. Definitely give him the momentum back because obviously Finn was just drained out big time. So definitely giving him this win over Gargano was definitely gonna help him really get up to another level with his character, and now he feels like he's feuding with Walter for the NXT UK Championship, and they're probably going to main event NXT UK TakeOver Dublin, which I'm going to try to make card predictions for within the next week or so. So we'll see how that goes as well. But yep, Finn Balor wins this match. Pretty good match. The next match probably was the weakest match tonight, but still good. Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair. I think it told the story well. Bianca feeling like she's been overlooked because, obviously the bigger focus is Rhea Ripley trying to challenge Charlotte to a match at WrestleMania. And I think, Bianca was trying to tell the story like, hey, don't overlook me. Don't think, that, I'm not someone to take seriously as well. Don't think I'm not someone who can hang with Charlotte Flair. Which she did have a match with Charlotte recently on NXT, and I thought it was a pretty good match. And this one was good too. Nothing like, flashy or amazing, but it was still a good match, I thought, for sure. And I think that idea of Bianca showing that, she's still, something to be taken seriously was, accomplished for sure in this match. And then Rhea would eventually, retain. And after the match, though, Charlotte Flair came in from behind and attacked Rhea. Now, before this, she had not told Rhea if she accepted the challenge or not. But then she grabs a microphone and says, so I thought about it, and I'll see you at WrestleMania. So the match is on Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. Again, I think this is definitely a dream match. This is a great opportunity for sure for Rhea Ripley to really set the bar for her high again if WWE is as high on her as, they make it seem like it for sure based off of how she's been booked and the opportunity she's already gotten for sure. But, she's definitely, a badass. Yeah, she's literally the Pete Dunne of the women's division, as I keep saying. Not meant to be like, the goody good girl that everybody that's just going to say, oh, you guys are awesome, you guys are the best. No. She's literally going to go out there and kick some ass, but we're going to love it, basically. And that's why I love Rhea Ripley, and I can't wait to see what she does against Charlotte at WrestleMania 36, which is still one of the very few matches I'm still looking forward to for WrestleMania 36. Just my opinion, though. But we had that match. We also, before this match, actually, we had a segment with the Undisputed Era backstage with Kathy Kelly, which this is actually Kathy Kelly's last night in WWE as well. She did leave to pursue other things. So I forgot to mention that before. Just thank you, Kathy, for sure, for all your time in the company. Then we had, before the next match, the next match was the NXT Tag Team Championship match. I personally felt they should have opened with this match, and then done the street fight, then did Lee Dijakovic, then the women's match, and had Gargano and Balor before the main event. But I don't know. I guess they just changed it up a little bit, but this is still good. This tag team match, title match, it was the Undisputed Era's Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish taking on the Broserweights, the winner of the 2020 Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne. Let's talk about the segment that happened before, though. They were riding around in their little golf cart. They had their trophy with them that they won. I forgot what they named it at this point, but it's been this long. But so y'all know, actually, let me grab my hack. That way I can, get the look and do the imitation quite well. Bro. So yesterday was Friday. It's Friday in Lent still. Lent's still going on for a few more weeks. The problem is we've run out of fish fries. Yes, we of course still go meatless on Fridays in Lent for those of you who do. But obviously we need to have a better route to getting fish, since there's no fish fries open right now, which is unfortunate because I always love my fish fry. Beer battered fish, shrimp, fries, macaroni and cheese, all that good stuff. But hey, look, it's Bobby Fish. And at some point on NXT before the show, Bobby Fish said fish. So, the original bro, Matt Riddle, came up with a little bit of a tongue twister that, of course, most of you know I found very entertaining. And this is kind of funny, too, with the exception of the fact that I thought that having the pictures of, Bobby Fish's head attached onto a fish was a little bit too much. Like, that's kind of, that's kind of Vince McMahon toilet humor territory. So, I like, that's a little bit too far. But I still love this. Love this little song. This little tongue twister, probably ad-libbed by the original bro, Matt Riddle. And it's a very, very important question I must ask. Especially if we're needing more fish. And more stuff to eat on a Friday in Lent. I'll ask it to you guys right now. Feel free to sing along with me if you like. How much fish could Bobby Fish fry if Bobby Fish could fry fish? How much fish could Bobby Fish fry if Bobby Fish could fry fish? Fish. Wow, I messed up there. Let's try this again. How much fish could Bobby Fish fry if Bobby Fish could fry fish? How much fish could Bobby Fish fry if Bobby Fish could fry fish? How much fish could Bobby Fish fry if Bobby Fish could fry fish? How much fish could Bobby Fish fry if Bobby Fish could fry fish? How much fish could Bobby Fish fry if Bobby Fish could fry fish? Mic drop. I don't know. I just found that very catchy, and I thought that was pretty entertaining. Again, around this time, I've been hearing rumors that Matt Riddle was asking if he could, ad-lib some of his promos. So some of his promos recently is stuff he's coming up with. And if this whole tongue twister was his idea, awesome. Again, though, I wasn't a big fan, though, of, having Bobby Fish's head appearing attached to an actual fish. That was a little too much. But besides a little, humor to start off the match, I thought this was a really great tag match. Definitely one of my tag team matches of the year. Not the tag team match of the year. Well, in NXT, probably yes. But as far as professional wrestling, no. That's going to come with our next review for AEW Revolution. That has my tag team match of the year so far. Since I'm including more companies besides just the WB and NXT, I'm including AEW now, of course, for my, match of the years and my end of year awards in wrestling. But, all that fun stuff that you guys all enjoy. Why is my seat falling down? But this match was still pretty awesome. The thing was, I wasn't expecting Dunn and Riddle to win the titles. I mean, don't get me wrong, they've continued this on. They still got mileage in them as this tag team. They're definitely entertaining as the Broserweights. It's just, my thing is, I'm kind of getting a little bit tired of literally having two main event superstars who don't really have anything else to do right now as single stars getting thrown just a random tag team, I think. yeah, it kind of annoys me a little bit, but again, they're still making it work. It's entertaining. I thought these four worked very well together. I do like though that they did tease, they tease some, miscommunications and chances of collapsing between Riddle and Dunn for sure. I thought that was definitely nice storytelling there. It kind of makes us wonder if it was going to happen or not, because at some point these two are going to feud with each other, and I think they could put on definitely a really good physical match for sure. Maybe making Pete Dunne the heel and Matt Riddle still the babyface, but I just like how this function of again having like Matt Riddle have more humor and Pete Dunne's like, I love you, bro, but what the heck, man, basically. But I thought it was a great match, and again, Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne, the Broserweights, win the tag titles, leave it down to just one member of the Undisputed Era who has gold as of this moment. And all I can say about him is, boom! But very great tag team match, and again, good moment for Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne. And again, I'm still digging them as a tag team. But like I said, again, it's like I'm starting to get a little tired of seeing tag teams be formed by two big main event stars. I thought, but that's just my opinion. But still a fantastic match for sure, and a near falls, and then again just the drama of possibly them messing up and maybe collapsing as a tag team. But our main event though, let's talk about this main event. We had a lot happen in this main event match. Adam Cole versus Tommaso Ciampa. Daddy's home. Because I haven't done it in so long. For the NXT Championship. This is the main event. Obviously, this was the match that was set up to be at some point once Tommaso Ciampa returned from injury back on the October 2nd, 2019 edition of NXT. Again, return as a babyface, though, I was definitely surprised by that. But getting like a hero's welcome back from his neck injury. And obviously, he was going right after Goldie. Because he says, he got everything taken away from him because of his neck. And then and obviously he just kept saying he wanted to get his life back. Obviously he had some more business to take care of first with the rest of the Undisputed Era. That's why he teamed up with the likes of Keith Lee, even Matt Riddle, who ended up feuding with Finn for War Games, but Keith Lee, Dominic Dijakovic, again, Kevin Owens came in to help out at the War Games match. But obviously he had pinned Adam Cole and earned this title opportunity. He was also running roughshod, taking out the rest of the members of the Undisputed Era. So obviously this was set to be a pretty good match. And again, yes, was it too long? For sure. It was too long of a match. But I still thought it was an awesome match that I couldn't tell you, until what happened at the very end, I couldn't tell you who was going to win this match. A lot of near falls, a lot of kickouts, a lot of crazy spots. A lot of they went through tables. They had outside the ring. They had brawled outside the ring. It was physical. There was some really good close near falls. Good Panama Sunrise kicks out for the last shot. Again, there was a lot that happened. And like I said before, yes, probably could have cut back for sure on near falls. Probably could cut back a little bit on time, but still lots of drama. From the referee getting knocked out to the Undisputed Era getting involved. And basically trying to repeat what they were trying to do with Johnny Gargano when he feuded with him last year for NXT TakeOver New York in that 2 out of 3 falls match. Obviously, again, it looked like we're going to tell that same story here with Tommaso Ciampa winning. Unfortunately, kept coming close. We had a couple of times where the referee was out, and then they were counting to like 10 or whatnot when he probably would have won the match. But again, Ciampa even took out the rest of the members of the Undisputed Era. And it looked like he had the chance. But then Kyle O'Reilly threw in the NXT Championship for Cole to use as a weapon. It did not work on him. But then, once, Adam Cole obviously got into the head of Tommaso Ciampa, Tommaso literally had no help. We thought maybe the Velveteen Dream would get involved because he had just made his return to NXT, and he obviously is going right after the Undisputed Era because they were the ones who wrote him off for 5 months like they did. But earlier in the night, after Johnny Gargano had lost his match, I was watching this with one of my friends. He said, could you maybe see Johnny Gargano turning heel? And I'm like, Not completely for it, but I'm not completely against it either. It's different, but we'll see. I didn't think it would happen. But Johnny comes out and is on the other side trying to root on for Tommaso Ciampa. They recently reunited and had a match at Worlds Collide against Mustache Mountain, so it was DIY versus Mustache Mountain. But then things changed. I loved the storytelling here. Tommaso Ciampa goes for the NXT Championship. He was going to use it to attack Adam Cole. That's what he was going to use it for when the referee was down. But then when he goes to reach for it, Johnny grabs the championship and pulls it back from him. And I'm like, uh-oh. Thinking, like, is it going to happen? Like, I'm thinking, oh, boy, it's going to happen. They're actually going to do this. Like, oh, my goodness. So I'm like, I can't. Maybe it's just him saying, hey, you can't do it this way. Or maybe they're going to have, like, him just take the title and saying, not like that, man. You're not going back to that dark side. Maybe, like, Johnny had, regained Ciampa's trust, and, like, you're not going back to that dark side. Maybe that's how he was going to cost him the match, and still set up for, the blow-off match at the next TakeOver. Instead, they went a little bit deeper, like I said before. Bam! Johnny took the championship and smashed it right in Tommaso Ciampa's face. Knocking him out, having Adam Cole set up, getting the referee back in there, pinning Tommaso Ciampa. 1, 2, 3. Adam Cole wins the match. Johnny Gargano costs Tommaso Ciampa and gets payback on him for all that he had done to him. Man, what a turn of events. Like, again, I didn't think it would happen, but there was several different ways you could have set up to get there. You could have just had Ciampa win and have Johnny win his match against Balor and say, hey, we have unfinished business. We seem to be on better terms now, but we still have unfinished business. Let's settle this and take over Tampa. Or we could have had, Johnny just yank the championship out of the ring and say, not like this. That's not how you're going to win this title. You're not going back to that dark side. And then cost the match, and then have Ciampa, still go after Gargano still. But instead, they went full on turning Johnny Gargano heel. Having him cost Tommaso Ciampa the match by attacking him with the belt when the referee was not looking. And the story is, Johnny, of course, said when he looked up and saw that look in Tommaso Ciampa's face, he knew that Tommaso Ciampa had not learned. And that, he's still, the same evil man who did all those bad things to him. And again, it is a little bit weird with the roles reversed right now because, obviously this was Johnny's feud to win, but obviously it didn't turn out the way it was supposed to last year because of Tommaso Ciampa's neck injury. But, I have enjoyed it so far with the build, but again, I still think it's just a little bit weird, but to me, it was, caught me off guard. I did not expect it. And we're going to be getting kind of like a Falls Count Anywhere match in just an empty building in a week and a half for sure. They'll finally have the blow-off match. And I know some people are sick of seeing Gargano and Ciampa wrestle each other. I do feel it's kind of being overdone a little bit too. But to me, like, they had to have this one more match. They had to have that one more big blow-off match for them to move on from this. This is going to be it for them. This is going to be the big ending we were supposed to get last year. So, we'll see what happens. But nice swerve for sure, definitely, at the end. Again, yes, the match is a little bit too long. Yes, there's a little too many kickouts, but still an awesome match. Still great storytelling. Both of these guys, both Cole and Ciampa, I thought looked like megastars in this match. It was pretty darn good. Still, my match of the night was still the opening match with Lee and Dijakovic, but this was probably my second favorite match of the night, I will say. And that's going to do it, guys. That is my live review of NXT TakeOver Portland from 2020. I give this an A. Again, I still think, between, the classic of an opener we had with the classic big man match, to, even though the finish was botched, and I wasn't a fan of, Raquel Gonzalez joining up, I still thought they really put over both Tegan Nox and Dakota Kai well. Excellent storytelling in that street fight. Gargano and Balor put on a great old-school wrestling match, I thought. Again, the weakest match was definitely Ripley and Bianca, but still a good match. The tag title match was awesome as well. And then this main event, again, long, but had a lot of great drama to it. Definitely a match that I would say I definitely enjoyed. So to me, definitely one of the strongest takeovers for sure. I would say of all time. I'm saying that probably in the top 5. I would say at least. I gave the show an A, not an A plus. Didn't quite reach that level, but excellent show. I gave it an A. Love the show, top to bottom. I recommend checking it out if you have not seen it yet. Let's check the live chat again and see what Tyler anything says. Still hate it more than Survivor Series 2018. Renee is the most annoying commentator ever. Commentating this was for her. Also, the fact is, again, she had Vince in her ear, so I don't completely blame her for that. And WWE screwed Mania at Chamber. No, WWE screwed up Mania at Super Showdown, I would say. But yeah, Chamber was definitely not really, worth it either. But we'll talk about that when we get there. But guys, that's going to do it for this live review. Again, I gave this show an A. We have 2 more reviews left before I'm officially all caught up on my channel with everything I wanted to be caught up for since, being gone. So the next pay-per-view, which I will take a short break in about 20 minutes or so, come back up here and do AEW Revolution. And if I'm still feeling good after that, I will come back up here again and do Elimination Chamber, and we'll be all caught up, which sounds awesome to say. So guys, what were your thoughts on NXT TakeOver Portland? Did you enjoy this show? Did you think it's one of the best takeovers done so far? Did you think that main event was a little too long? What were your thoughts on the Johnny Gargano heel turn? Do you think that they've overdone the Gargano Ciampa feud? Or do you think that this one last match is necessary? Make sure to leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. And be sure as always to slap a like on the video. Subscribe or comment on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, DemandBody3. I'll be back up here, guys, in about 20 minutes to do my AEW Revolution 2020 live review. So until then, guys, have a great rest of your night. Till then, I'll see you all soon. Take care. Peace out, everybody.